Hello, I am Sarah Weiss of Passion and Pickleball. Welcome to the Spanglish World Networks on Zingo TV, channels 249, 250, and 251. You can download the Zingo TV app on iOS and Android app stores. Don't forget to rate and leave a comment. This app is free and is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Fire TV sticks, Roku sticks, and also all smart TVs 2016 and on. Good to have you back. We have some incredible guests, plural, two guests today. We're doing something a little different. Going to introduce you to some incredible people. Some are quite known in the pickleball world for being just incredible human beings. One does incredible graphics, one is a community builder. But before I introduce them, I want to do something that I haven't really done, here in a big way. I want to express my gratitude for pickleball and for the pickleball community. It has done so much for me, and I see it every single day. So, anyone who's watching who still has not gotten your butt onto the court to try this, I hope my gratitude leaves an impression on you for you to do it. To just do it, get away from the TV, stop watching me, and go hit the court. I just want to start off by saying the new friends that I've made since playing this game, sport, going to tournaments, playing rec, playing leagues, and just kind of going out after these games and having dinners and lunches and coffee dates and stuff like that with people. I have lifelong friends now because of this sport that I never would have had. Not to mention my boyfriend. I met my boyfriend at a US Open, and him and I we're like this. We spend every moment together, mainly on the court. He's really good to me. I'm really good to him. I love spoiling him. And, we got Valentine's Day tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. That's because of pickleball. Pickleball kind of takes you out of your shell. And I've seen people who came into pickleball in a shell and have now emerged, and they're like butterflies on the court. And it's incredible. I also want to thank pickleball for the spark that I have found that I never would have expected. For those of you who know me, you know that I don't come from sports. I used to live in the gym doing yoga. Yoga was my jam. Some Pilates, a little bit of dance. That was kind of my thing. I never expected to play sports because I just never was interested. But ever since playing, something inside me ignited. I've got this fire and this spark about me, this ambition and drive to reach my greatest potential in a kind of a physical form instead of mentally. Like I've always been about the mental game, as most of you know. I love to teach people what I've gone through and my secrets for how to get over hurdles and speed bumps and challenges and be your best self and reach your potential and do your best work and all that awesome, yummy, tasty life stuff. But to do it in sport, that's brand new to me. And, I'm experiencing this kind of freeing primal instinct on the court that I've never experienced. And I'm so grateful that I get the chance to experience that because I never would have if it wasn't for pickleball. So I now have new dreams that I never expected to have. After now I've been playing for just under 3 years. 3 years ago, my dreams were very different. Very, very different. You never know what's going to happen to kind of change your course. So I'm very, very grateful that I now have this new path in front of me, and it's very exciting. It's fresh. Again, I'm meeting all kinds of new people, and I have new opportunities opening up like crazy. In fact, a documentary is in the works of being made about me and my journey and my history and my journey to the US Open. Again, never expected anything like that, let alone it being because of a sport. So pickleball is opening doors for me as well as it is for many of the people I know. And it's also given me this brand new, fresh outlook on life. Getting up early and training my mind, training my body. I do these at-home workouts every morning, about the strong morning ritual. And I just every time I do my meditations in the morning and I set myself up for that day, the outlook I have with this grand picture in sports and meeting, really incredible athletes and people and content creators, creating a documentary, doing this TV show, obviously, meeting new people, friends, fans, family, on the court. It's given me this outlook that lights my soul on fire. It really does. When you meet me, if you meet me on the court or off the court, you know how passionate I am. There's a reason why this show is called Passion and Pickleball, because I'm so lit up. I'm lit up about it, and nothing can knock that off course. I've had my frustrations on the court, but nothing has ever stopped me. And for those of you who know me, again, I've gone through some stuff since starting in this sport, and nothing will stop me from enjoying it. Nothing. It's just the best. So I just wanted to express my gratitude from the bottom of my heart to the people, the places, the opportunities, and everything that this sport has given to me. And with that, I want to introduce my two guests, invite them on so you can meet two of some of the amazing people that I have gotten to know while being part of this incredible community. One is a community builder. I'm kind of waiting for them to pop up, hoping they pop up now. Poof, magic. There it is. There we are. We have happy Todd, Boynton, and Matt. Guys, I'm so happy to have you here. How you guys doing?
Thanks for having us.
Great. Sorry, I should have put my last name on the thing. I didn't know it was going to show up that way.
I introduce you how you want to be introduced. So we got Happy Boynton right there below me. He is a community builder, and he's got an incredible story, which I'm excited for him to share. You know, I've mentioned many times how this sport changes lives and also saves lives. Happy's story will move you in that way. Matt is a graphic designer who's done some incredible things in the community in the way of putting people out there, which he's a servant. You know, he gives to people, and I love what he did. He made me one, and all he asked was a signed paddle. So he's got this collection. I think I see some behind him of a bunch of paddles from players that have signed, and he exchanges making these incredible cool graphics for people. So to a point where he's being looked at by some of the big organizations that want him to do the work for him. It kind of speaks to how fresh this community is, and we're looking for incredible people and creators to help it expand and become bigger and bigger and bigger, which it continues to do at an astronomical rate. So guys, welcome. I've never had two guests on at a time, so this is going to be interesting. I want to have a great conversation with you guys about the community, about what you guys are up to, and how this sport has affected your life. So, but first off, I always ask this question, and I'll ask Happy first, then Matt. Happy, why pickleball?
I was a lifelong ice hockey goalie, only because I grew up poor and I had no athletic talent. And they give you the equipment for free to play hockey. So they'd let me stand out there in the pads, and guys would shoot at me all day long. I didn't know what I was doing, but I did it for 35 years. It destroyed my body, back pains, knee pains, became an addict and an alcoholic. So 5 years ago, while in a wheelchair and a doctor telling me I probably will never walk again on my own power, I decided to quit drinking, and I found pickleball, and it saved my life. And the joy you get talking about it, I get showing it to new people. So everybody that's listening to this, it's like you said, never grab the paddle, just get a paddle. Hit a ball against the wall, you'll feel it, and then you become part of this amazing community. I didn't know you guys 6 months ago. You're two of my best friends now. And we've never met each other in person. But that's pickleball in a nutshell.
Yeah, that feeling. It's so funny because I didn't expect that. It was a friend of mine who brought me onto the court thinking he was going to teach me tennis, and we're in this tiny court, and he's like, "What the heck is this? This can't be a tennis court." So we find out what it is. We go get a paddle, and we try, and I hit this stupid wiffle ball with this stupid hard paddle. Something about that feeling. It's just, and the sound it makes. I don't know what it is, but it hooks you, and you're done for life. For life. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm so glad that it happened to you. I'm glad it happened to me. Matt, it clearly happened to you as well. Why pickleball?
Man, my story isn't as great as Happy's as far as saving my life or anything like that. But in another facet, just the community, the people that you meet on the pickleball court, for the most part, 95% of them, I would say, are just some of the best people in the world. They're there to have fun, to enjoy some exercise, community, and just to have a good time. And about a year and a half, 2 years ago now, that's what I was kind of looking for, just some exercise and trying to get outside again. And I had a friend who kept bugging me about it, wanting me to come play, and I just always put him off. And I went and tried it, and like you said, the sound of that ball and the paddle, it was just like, okay, I think I'll come back and do this again. I'm not very good at it, but I think I'll come back tomorrow and try it. And it's been pretty much an everyday affair for the last a year and a half, with the exception of, being sick or whatever. So yeah, it's great.
I love it. Do you have a sport background or anything that kind of led you to pickleball?
Not really. When I was a kid, I played, or I was into like X Games type sports, so skater stuff, and wasn't too athletic. Been overweight all my life, so wasn't ever like on the football team or the varsity basketball team or anything like that. But I grew up doing like summer tennis camps with my dad, which would only last, a couple of weeks out of the year. So it wasn't like any formal training. And then we'd play racquetball anytime my uncle would come from Tennessee. So there's some racket sports in there, but not too much.
I love it. I love it. What keeps you guys playing? I know, getting started and that adrenaline and everything, but why have you continued to play? And not only play, but play almost every single day. Happy, what's got you staying in this community?
I speak from the point of view of an addict for years. It's a drug. It feels good every time you do it. And Matt alluded to, not everybody makes you feel good. Sometimes you run into people who are dicks, but for the most part, I feel good every day I play, whether I win, whether I lose. It just feels good to do it. I know some people find that through the gym, lifting weights, whatever it is. If it's not pickleball, find your pickleball. I like to tell people maybe it's not pickleball, but there's something out there for you. I was 52 before I found it, so it's never too late to start.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed you've brought a lot of people together. You run leagues, correct?
I like to say happy pickleball's the other side of the pickleball. I'm not the competitive type. I can't keep score. I can't run a league or a tournament, but I know a lot of people who are good at that do that for us. Mine is just to get you out there hitting the ball. So there are no advanced or intermediates. When people play happy pickleball, we've got some players who can play really good ball. We've got some people who still can't get the ball over the net half the time, but everybody has a good time, and it's the community that does that. Like I said, I don't do electronic stuff. Just to get out here and talk to one person who's thinking, I've heard about pickleball, but I see you got to take lessons and you got to pay a coach and you got to do this. No, you don't. Grab the cheap paddle and go hit a ball, and then find a friend to hit the ball. And before you know it, we started with 30 people 2 years ago. We're up over 1,300 in our tiny little town in Western Mass. Everybody wants to do it. There's no place to do it, but you guys know we could turn a street into pickleball courts. You can hit a ball anywhere. So I'm not the competitive side. I'm the happy side. We're just doing this to have fun, but my enjoyment is seeing other people have fun.
1,300 people. I mean,
1,300 people.
you see it kind of, especially if you have friends on social media who play pickleball. For the most part, you're seeing how fast it's growing. I remember, when I first started, a couple people would message me like, "What is this thing you're doing?" Now everyone on my list knows what pickleball is, and I'm not the only one they know playing it anymore.
Right.
It grows really fast because, like you said, you don't have to be good at it to enjoy it. I think that's one of the biggest things that make this so addictive for all types of people. You don't have to be sinking 3-pointers to feel something good about this game. Just hitting it over the net feels amazing. I don't know why.
Well,
It's just great. How about you, Matt? What's got you excited to stay part of this and created a passion within you for it?
At this point, I'm addicted to just new toys, as far as like all the new paddles that come out, the bags, everything, all the new gadgets and stuff. I'm just kind of I'm a design guy, obviously, so all the new stuff that comes out, I'm automatically critiquing it in a positive way most of the time. And so it just kind of keeps me going. It keeps me in my element as far as like the business side of it and the hobby outside of playing it. So it's like, I don't know, best of both worlds for me. It just never shuts off, basically. You can ask my wife. She'll tell you.
It's perpetual. Yes. All our significant others know about our love and addiction to pickleball.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see some paddles behind you. Do you want to show the audience some of the paddles? You've got some incredible signatures.
I got a couple here. That's yours back there, if you
Is that
recognize it.
oh,
Yeah,
now you gotta show it.
right
Now you
next to
gotta
right
show it.
next to the football. And below that, we got Connor Garnett. We got that back in LA about 6 months ago or so. He's been real good to me with posting graphics and stuff. So that's a really cool one for me. And the one below is Yuta Castillo. She was the first graphic that I did a pro for, and she's been, very supportive of me to the point where, we decided to partner again this year, and we're really excited to release some, exclusive, really cool graphics that are just for her and her team. So yeah, that's what I got there. Those are a few of them. The other ones are almost caving in my dresser in the closet. So
How many would you say you have at this point of, from donations for your graphics?
I would say there's probably 40 to 50 right now. Probably 40. I would say 44. Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's anyone else in the pickleball community who can say they have 50 different signed paddles from pros and amateurs alike that you served to help them, get seen, get noticed in this world. That's so cool. And thank you for doing that. I'm one of them, and I'm really happy that
Yeah.
I got to know you through that way. And
I'm very happy. I'm very happy as well. It's a cool thing. It didn't start like that. It kind of started with one of them somebody reached out to me and they asked me, what do you charge? And I was so elated that I got a message from like a pro player that I was like, what are you talking about? What do I charge? And, they told me, well, how about like a signed paddle, like an old paddle of mine? I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. Heck yeah. And it just kind of snowballed. So after that, it just kept going and going. But the goal is when we reach a certain amount, originally it was going to be 50. We were actually going to take it to Guinness and try to get the world record for the largest pro pickleball paddle collection and get everybody's name in the book and, make pickleball like a record setting thing. So, just trying to expand it.
if you're watching, people, you reach out to Matt, get him your paddle, sign it, and he'll make you an awesome graphic. So at the end of this, I'm going to ask how people can contact you. But definitely, if you're watching, keep watching till the end so you can contact Matt. And I saw that Happy showed a paddle. Where'd you get that paddle, Happy?
That is one of my Sarah signed paddles, the only one so far, but I hope to get more. I'm only at one, Matt.
You got some catching up to do.
That's where it begins, Happy.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. Well,
Matt's the consumer of our group. I love how he talks about he wants to get the bags, he wants to get the paddles, he wants to get the stuff because that's it. Everybody's a part of this community. I've got one paddle that I use, and I never bring balls with me. I don't even care if I play half the time. I'd rather sit on the sidelines and talk to people about pickleball. But that's where everybody's going to be in a couple of years. They're all going to be hanging out on the pickleball court, finding what they love about it. And Matt's just going around grabbing more paddles from everybody.
It's funny. When I first started, one of the big things I noticed was supply and demand. I'm an entrepreneur, so
Yep.
excuse me if I'm always thinking in supply and demand. I'm like, if there's low supply and high demand, this is business. Pickleball, high demand. And, I say low supply, but courts are popping up like crazy, like popcorn. But the demand is growing faster than the supply can give to the community. So yeah, everyone's going to be on a court at some point. I swear to God, it's so neat watching how many people are coming into this. People from all kinds of walks of life, which is really neat. Obviously there's tennis players and other athletes coming in and going, "Oh wow, this is actually much funner than I thought. I thought it was for just retired people." No, this is for everybody, and just the different types of people I've run into. It's really really cool. Something I always talk about is you never know who you're playing with. Sometimes you're playing with someone who has seen some life. And, if you just get them to open up and chat with them, you realize you're really glad you know this person. If you don't do that, you never know who you're playing with. It's kind of neat. But yeah, why don't you guys tell me a little bit about the paddles that you play with? Happy just showed a carbon, a 1X, I believe.
That was the 1X. Yes.
That's the 1X. One of my top favorite paddles. You want to tell me a little bit about it?
It's too heavy for me. I have small arms. It weighs me down. So what I'm using now is my Revenant, which
Nice.
is Minnesota based. Sarah
That's
now
right.
lives in Minnesota, so I hope you know the Revenant. Pick Ninja people.
I
Uh,
do.
but I found that about 2 years ago. My wife's from Minnesota, so we travel out there for the holidays, and amazing how much pickleball there is in Minnesota compared to where I'm from, New England, Massachusetts. There's courts everywhere. There's indoor facilities everywhere. New England's way behind where you are, and Matt's in California. I know we're way behind there as well. So we're just getting started.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to see the community. Well, I mean, you said just getting started at 1,300 members with
Right?
you. That's amazing. Just
Yeah.
getting started. I love it. What about you, Matt? What are you playing with these days?
I'm using a 16 millimeter 60 Ruby, the new Kevlar paddle from 60. Yeah. I've
Fancy.
been
What do
playing
you
a lot
think?
of singles, and that paddle for singles for me has just been absolutely incredible. I love it.
That's on my list to demo. That's up
It's
there.
very good. Yeah.
Nice, nice. What do you like about it? It's got good control, spin, power. What are we talking?
For me, I feel like I can't control anything, in my life and on the court. So I feel like that's where I'm at my best, just knowing that fact. So the Ruby
Embrace
is
chaos.
definitely, yes. The Ruby is definitely more of an aggressive paddle for me. Like I said, with singles, it's a lot of just, hitting the ball real hard, trying to get a cross court shot and get it past your opponent versus a strategic, dink or whatever with a control thing. So yeah, I just love it for that. And in fact, yesterday I played 2 games of singles. The first game we played, I won 11-1, and then my friend wanted to try the Ruby, so I gave him the Ruby and we switched paddles. And then the second game ended up going 16-14. I won, but I was like, man, give me
Give me
that
my
paddle.
pad
You
back.
can't use that anymore.
So, are you a little more competitive than obviously Happy, who's just happy to be there? Do you play tournaments? Are you very competitive? Kind of competitive?
I would say I'm kind of competitive. I can get really competitive, but then I have to remind myself what I'm doing and where I'm at and everything like that, because you know, it's for me it started with being fun, and I want it to stay that way. I don't want it to ever get in the way of me having fun. So I do tournaments every now and then, but I don't ever do like I'm not drilling a couple hours a day like I probably should, but I get
What does that
competitive
mean?
also depending on who I'm playing with,
Matt, what does that mean? As you probably should. This is where him and I argue all the time. There's no should. If you're having fun doing it, this is where I get into trouble because people get mad at me for saying it. I get it. You want to get better. Sarah, you're a life coach, and the yoga and the mental aspect, all that's great. But I don't want to scare people away from pick up a paddle and hit the ball. And once you get started, if you want to go pro, go drill. That is the answer. Go drill every day. I see how much work Sarah and JJ put in. You're going to get good. That's how you do it. I'll play all day. I'll play the same amount of time, but I'm not going to drill. I'll play games and I'll play with anybody. That's what turned me on to Matt. I saw him say that one day. He goes, I don't care. I'll play with anybody. And that's kind of the motto that we go by. We'll play with anybody. That's the beauty of pickleball. Sorry,
That's
Matt.
so
No, you're
Well,
good.
that's so beautiful, and it's so true, and that's kind of again what makes this sport so awesome is you can come in and have tons of fun without being a pro or being the best at it. And if you want to have a bigger challenge to get up to the pro, it's not easy. There's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of knowledge and experience and IQ on the court that you need, repetition, consistency. That's kind of the word of the year with
Yep.
pickleball. You hear everyone say if you want to get better you need to be more consistent, because we can all hit a nice shot, but can you hit it 10 times in a row, 100 times in a row? When you see these pros playing, they just don't mess up.
Right.
And it's not even about doing the fancy shots, it's just about doing the same thing over and over and over until the nice shot comes up and then they put it away. So that's awesome to know that anyone can hop on the court and have fun, which you guys are, big proponents of, is helping people get out there. And me doing this show, that's one of my biggest, purposes for it is hopefully the people watching are like, I gotta get out there already. You do. Happy. Why should they get out there?
It's good for you. It's absolutely good for your soul. It's good for your body. Uh, we talk about not everybody's perfect on the court. Well, maybe today somebody was a grump. Somebody didn't rub you the right way. Tomorrow they'll be different. We all get second chances. That's what pickleball is. Every time you hit the ball into the net, I'll try it again. I'll try it again. And you can do that with a 7-year-old kid just learning to hit the ball. You can do that with, pros who are saying, I got to make that shot. I got to do this consistently. That's the beauty of it. It's for everybody. It's the perfect sport. It's the perfect activity.
It really is. And I'm not a huge fan of the word perfect, but it checks a lot of boxes for people's lives.
Yeah.
It just really does. I mean, I can't properly express the excitement that this sport has given me. At the start of this episode, I really tried to express my gratitude, and it still doesn't even scratch the surface because I wake up thinking about it. I go to bed thinking about it, and I have 2 children who are my world. Now, if you've seen me around them, you can tell they're my everything, and pickleball rivals it.
Yep.
Like
Mhm.
it's that good. And when my kids play with me, it's like my life is perfect. And I've got JJ on the court with me. And we've had moments where it's me, JJ, and my 2 daughters playing pickleball. And it's perfect.
And
That
you think
is
it's heaven. This is what heaven is. You're especially on a nice sunny day. It's cold now. I'm in Massachusetts. I know what it's like out like in Minnesota. Matt complained to me yesterday it was 62 where he is. So he doesn't know about being cold outside. But it's still it's the closest we get to heaven where everybody's having a good time. That's the perfect pickleball point when 4 people are out there and everybody enjoyed that point. Everybody looked at everybody else and said, you did great. We all win. And it happens over and over and again. And that's why I go back every day, because you just can't wait to see that happen again. To see everybody enjoy something at the same time is magic. It may not be perfect, but it's magical. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is magical. Do you guys have like specific stories within your experience on the court that like really stand out to you that you like to tell or share with people?
My favorite thing, we play at 4 courts we have in our town. We only have 1 court that's been there for 10 years. And I only found this sport 3 years ago. So that means for 7 years, I lived in this tiny little town. I didn't even know there was a pickleball court because the few people who found it and used it kept it for themselves. That was a real pickleball mentality, is we find it, we love it. I found a lot of the OGs wanted to keep it for themselves. And that's why they don't like me, because I want everybody playing. I want the courts packed every day so that you have to work out some sort of more courts or more times or something. So our courts are all outside. They're all free. We just have made them on a basketball court, and it's next to a playground. And when you see little kids come out and their attention, they see it, they hear it, and they go, that doesn't look that hard. I should be able to do it. When you can get a kid to come over and try it for 2 minutes. We've got some who are now 8, 9, 10 years old who've been playing with us for a year. They're part of the group. They're little kids playing with people in their 70s. We have one guy, 80 years old, kicks our butt every day. But you've got from 8 to 80 literally playing at the same time. That's my favorite part, is just seeing somebody new grab it.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I tell my kids, like, you better find some passion for this sport because I want to play in a tournament with you. And they're like, a tournament with my mom? Like,
I have
it's
2
interesting.
daughters. One took it up and loves it. One will play when she has to. But there's always time. They're in their 20s, so I've got another 70 years for them to find eventually that they want to get into it full time.
Fingers
Matt, does your
crossed.
wife play?
She doesn't. No.
That's what I'm here for. We're going to work on that. We're going to get her playing.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that too.
Yeah.
My wife plays, but she works a full-time job. So time for a lot of people is just hard. It's hard to play all the time every day. Luckily, we get our opportunities to do that, but not everybody can. So I really focus on the people who are only going to play once. They might only get out once this year. They might only get out twice this year. There's so many people who we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah. So true. We'll
That
get them
sounded,
all.
that sounded like a cult, but it really
Well,
is.
no, it's a cult. I'm okay admitting it. Once you drink the Kool-Aid, you're in, and
You're
it's
in.
just there's no
Absolutely.
turning back. I remember the first time I really thought to myself, like, this might be a cult. I'm not sure. I think when you're in a cult, you don't know it's a cult. I feel like I'm kind of aware that this is a cult, but I feel good about it.
It's a good
Mhm.
cult. Yeah,
It
absolutely.
is.
And it's a good addiction. And that's my main takeaway that I want to give to somebody. All you need is one person to say, "Boy, Happy, I'm so glad I found it." And I've got those people that come up to me and go, "I play every day. I'm addicted." Uh, I have a couple people that don't want their spouse to play because it's their time. They get that time alone, and it's something special for them. That's great. Whatever it does for you, as long as it's doing something. And the spouse usually likes it because that gives them their alone time. Great, so and so's playing pickleball. I get to go do my thing.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever heard a story of pickleball ruined my life.
No, no, yeah.
And
I've heard that about
you
other
never
things.
will.
No, I don't think so. What about you, Matt? Do you have some story or two that kind of sticks out for you since you've been playing?
I think thinking about more like community wise, I've gotten to do a lot of really cool things lately with pickleball, traveling and stuff. And, we have the blessing of the California weather. So the PPA comes to, California quite a bit. And we live not too far from down south. So, um, aside from all of that stuff, a couple of weeks ago, I played with a lady and she was brand new and I had no idea she was brand new. And, we got halfway through the game and we ended up losing 0-11, right? So we got pickled. And when we were leaving the court, she made the comment like, "Oh, we got pickled. He's never going to play with me again." And she didn't know that I was sitting there, or I was near her that I could hear her. And I told her, I was like, "No, like, let's go play again." She goes, "You want to play with me again?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? It's it's no big deal." And tried to kind of go out of my way to show her that, like, hey, it happens. I've seen Tyson McGuffin get pickled before, on TV, and if he can do it, so can we. And so we went out to the next game, and we ended up pickling the people that we played. And I looked at her and I was just like, see, if we had never played again, that would have never happened. And so I've seen her maybe once or twice since then, and ever since then she calls me like pickle partner. So it's just kind of a cool thing. You get to know people that's the only time you see them maybe is on the pickleball court. And for that hour or two that you're playing or that they're playing, it's just like you said, everything's perfect.
It's to me, I think one of the biggest words I could use to describe the feeling when you're on the court is freedom. I really feel so free on the court. And when you pair up with someone who is there to enjoy themselves and is not overly serious, it's that energy that you can create. What you just described, Matt, I've experienced pretty much the exact same thing. And it can go a completely different way when someone is serious and they're like, oh, I can't play like that. And then I've seen it where someone who is such a gentle, sweet soul can come in and experience someone like you, Matt, who kind of says, "Hey, it's okay, we can lose," and then you start to see the better side of their playing because they're not worried. They're not like there's pressure. They don't feel like intimidated. They don't feel like they have to not let my partner down. Then all of a sudden you start to see them loosen up and play a little better. And all of a sudden something like what you just said happens, and it's magical. It's beautiful and it's perfect. I
Hmm.
love it so much.
It's trust. You find a partner who you don't worry about it. I hit the ball terrible all day long, but they still love you. They still like you. They know you didn't try to miss the shot. I have a bad habit of going too hard on my serve. I love trying to just curve my serve in that right angle that nobody can touch it. I know it's not a smart play. It's not a high percentage play. I'm not going to win tournaments doing it, but God, it feels so good when I get it. And my partner will look at me and go, "Will you stop doing that?" Smiling. So I know we all can get what we want out of it, and that's the message for everybody watching.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you hop on the court and you're sharing it with a partner, it's really nice to be with a partner who's not judging you. Because we've all, if you've played pickleball long enough, you've been in with that partner who rolls their eyes, they huff and puff, they make you feel like you're under the microscope, and any mistake you make is going to make you look bad and make them resent you. Doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great. So if you're watching and that's who you are, I understand sometimes, when we take things serious, we get a little frustrated, and that's fine. All I would ask is you don't put it on your partner. If you gotta, go like this to yourself, fine, do it, look the other way. But the huffing and the puffing and the eye rolling and the kind of coaching in the middle of a match, like you shouldn't hit it so high. It's like, duh, I know that. Like, that kind of stuff. Just I encourage you to not be that person. Don't be that person, because what I've noticed, and if you're someone who wants to win games, you have a better chance of winning if you encourage your partner. If when they make a mistake, say, "That's okay, we got them next time." Even if they do it again, that's okay, we got it next time. You're good, we're good. When you do that, they loosen up and they're going to play better. If you really, really, really want to win, you have a better chance doing it that way than pressuring them into it.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, there's not enough time to turn them into a diamond with your pressure.
No.
But in that little 11-point game, we do the best we can. I get people come up to me all the time. I'm terrible remembering names and faces, but they'll tell me, "I played with you 6 months ago, someplace else, and all I remembered was I enjoyed it. I don't remember if we won or lost, but I remember you made me feel good about playing." And it's so easy to get that. I'm not saying that's for everybody. I know when you get to your advanced courts, you're training for pro, you're training for the US Open, it's different. But for open play where it's a community thing, there's just no reason everybody can't play together. And that's happy pickleball. That's where everybody plays together, because it's about everybody at the same time.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. I mean, I think that's pretty much the reason why every one of us start playing it. We don't start thinking, "I play this because I need to go pro." We don't, do it because I need to challenge myself. We do it because it makes us happy. It makes us feel good. And that, really kind of centers around the fun aspect of it, the social aspect of it, which when you go to pickleball and you remember those things, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. You enjoy yourself. You're winning no matter what. That's kind of my voodoo look at things, my butterflies and rainbows, right? I don't think we all see those, but I do.
Oh, I do
So
too. I turn everything positive, no matter what happens on the court. You both saw the latest news about injuries making the news. That's the big thing. It was on all the national programs, how pickleball injuries are being focused on. Everybody's getting hurt playing pickleball. Well, everybody's moving. Everybody's off the couch. I never got hurt when I sat on the couch for 12 hours a day watching movies, drinking a bottle of vodka. Nobody got hurt doing that. So I just tell everybody, rule number one, just don't get hurt. Don't try more than you can. Know your body. Listen to your body. If you're getting sore, if you're getting tired, if it's too much, you just stop.
Yeah, you don't need to get every ball. You really don't. Yeah. What would you say you look for in a partner when you're playing? I know, again, Happy, you don't play competitively, so it's less of an important question.
I
When you're
am actually signed up for the US Open in Naples, so hopefully we'll see you down there.
That's right. You did mention that. Heck yeah.
I'm 55. My partner's 30, so I'm playing in 3.0 30 plus. So it'll all be young kids there. But I've found a partner, Christian, who, he lets me be myself. He lets Happy be happy. And sometimes we will be as competitive as can be. The competitive nature in me comes out, and I don't like it because it's just too strong for me to control. But every once in a while, we have to beat somebody and let them know, yeah, we're good enough to play with you. We just don't like playing with you. So we try to avoid that. But then again, I've had friends who started out that way. They were unpleasant on the court, but you caught them on a bad day. I've had bad days where I was unpleasant on the court. There's people who still won't talk to me because they caught me on the one wrong day that they saw me at the pickleball court. So it's second chances. It's everybody learning to get along.
Yeah. Well, I think you really said it well. Your partner lets you be you. And some days being us,
Sucks.
it can be frustrating. When it's just not clicking and you really just want to get those shots in and they're just not getting in, it can be frustrating. And to have someone who understands that that's not who you are, just because you're a little frustrated about it, and allows you that space to do that, that can be difficult for some people. Me and my boyfriend, obviously, we have a relationship. So when you're on the court, you got to sometimes remember that you're separating and compartmentalizing boyfriend and girlfriend versus pickleball partners. Two different things. So sometimes that can collide and things can get personal, and they're not supposed to be. So like he'll get frustrated. And especially early on when we started playing as a couple, I would take that personal. I would take it personal, like, oh, you must be frustrated at me. And then I would all make these assumptions and stuff. And I've now since been able to give him that space to have his emotions and freedom to do that stuff without thinking it's about me. It's got to be about me. So that's a really good point.
I've learned when partners will yell at themselves. I have a woman I play with all the time, and she's so hard on herself. I finally told her, Happy doesn't believe in bullying. And I don't want you bullying yourself because they're just so negative about, I'm smarter than that. I shouldn't have done this. It's like, I know you didn't do it on purpose. It's just grace, having some grace about it. And not everybody knows that. Not everybody's been exposed to it. Some people come from real hard backgrounds, and it's relearning a lot of skills, social skills. Me being on Zoom, that's nothing I ever do, but I am passionate enough about, I want people to play, that I'm putting myself through this, and it's worth it. It's worth it to get people playing.
It is. It is. And I'm really glad you're on here and you're battling technology to make your way on the camera for us, and the world will thank you for it.
Good.
Matt, what about you? What do you look for in a partner?
Someone to carry me, really, kind of just what Happy said, somebody wants to have fun. It depends on what I'm trying to do. If I'm signing up for, to go play at the APP or whatever, I'm looking for somebody who just wants to be competitive, but wants to be positive about it. That's going to understand, like, yeah, we are going to hit some shots into the net. There are going to be some things that go wrong. We're not going to have a perfect outing. I don't think anybody's ever done that. So why am I going to be the one to do that? So just somebody who's willing to have fun, but willing to be competitive in the right setting. What do they say? Adapt and overcome, that kind of thing. Just to be there to be there, to have fun. And let's compete alongside it.
Sounds like you want someone who's passionate.
There you go. That's the perfect word, probably, huh?
Sounds about right. That checks out. And I see a comment from Natasha Boynton. Happy, there is no better representative for the game. And I would have to agree.
That was a paid comment, wasn't it, Happy?
Boy, I would love to talk to you guys about some of these stories. So Natasha has my same last name, but we're not related. I was sitting behind her at a Pink concert at Fenway Park last summer. And because I'm a creepy guy, I'm looking over her shoulder, looking at her phone. And I saw her on her Facebook. I'm like, oh my God, she has the same last name as me. I have to say something to her. And my wife said, you are not going to do that because that's creepy. So I waited till we got home that night and I Facebooked her and I told her the story. And she is now a Happy Pickleball representative in Central Massachusetts. I introduced her to it. She loved it. And she's spreading pickleball like Johnny spread apple seeds. That's what our goal is.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that funny? Natasha, thank you so much for commenting. That is too cool. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. So, wow, it's the magic. I keep finding all these little coincidences that happen, and then all of a sudden, boom, magic happens from it. And it's like it's dominoes in this sport. But let's hear your favorite players. Tell me, Matt, who's your favorite player? And you might be biased because you've got all these players that you're kind of working with and stuff, but be as biased as you want. Who's your favorite player? Sir,
Are we going overall, or are we going male and female?
let's go male and female. Your favorite male and your favorite female.
Oh, that's a tough one. Female, I'm gonna have to go Yuta Castillo. Just her enthusiasm, her drive, her passion, it's just it's another level. When she gets going, she gets going. And it's just so exciting to watch. And male, that one's a tough one. I think that one's a tie between probably Connor Garnett and Yame. Yame's just so positive, and he's so much fun to watch. And Connor's two-handed backhand is just something I could watch all day. So it's I'd have to say a tie between them. I can't pick one.
Well played. Well played. You're safe. Don't worry.
Yeah.
How about you, Happy?
That's tough for Matt because he knows a lot of these guys. It's hard for him to pick ones. The only pro I know is Sarah, so Sarah's my favorite. That's easy. That's easy for me. My goal is to get as good as Ben Johns, only so I can tell people I'm better than you. Don't act like you're better than me. And you figure there's one person in the world that can do that. It's Ben, right? And he's just so cool and so nice and so personable. And it's not that hard. It's not that hard to be a good person. And I root for him to stay on top for the next 20 years. And in this sport, you can. I mean, I get my butt kicked regularly by 70-year-old men and women. So
very humbling.
It's very humbling. And extremely it's beautiful. Humbling. I love that about it. I will come home after a good day at the park and say I lost to this one and that one, and it was amazing. I just absolutely love it. But
it'd be it'd be a mixed doubles match I'd like to see, or at least a team, would be Tyson McGuffin and Elise Jones. Wouldn't that be a fiery matchup? I would love to see that.
That'd be exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. So
somebody ended up getting hurt.
Someone would definitely end up getting hurt. Yes. We're coming up towards the end of the show, and I want to make sure that people know how to get a hold of you guys. So, like Matt, how can people get a hold of you? How can they find you on social media and potentially reach out to you for a graphic?
You can go to my website. I just got my website up and running about a month ago. It's mattbridgesdesign.com. You can email me at matt@mattbridgesdesign.com, or you can find me on Instagram at mattbpickleball. So I'm also on Facebook. If you just search my name, you'll find me.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. And happy Todd.
You're going to find me on all the pickleball forums getting into fights with people who are too much of a dick. That's where you will see me. I've got people all over the country that can't stand me because I just don't buy into you can't be a good person and play pickleball. I'm hoping they're watching. I'm hoping they're enjoying it. But it's Happy Pickleball on Facebook and Happy Pickleball wherever you go. Wherever you play and you enjoy it, it's just spreading the word, spreading the love. There's no credit needed for it. That's how I look at it.
Love it. What do you tell those players? Those butt heads on the court. What do you tell them?
Oh, yeah.
I have my mottos, if you can see them.
Yes. So Happy Pickleball. 1, don't get hurt. 2, have fun. 3, don't be that. And more the merrier. Love it.
And people who will get into fights and scream and yell and drop curse words, they'll read that logo on the back of my t-shirt and they'll do the same thing you did. They won't say the word dick. And I'm like, people know what a dick is. 6-year-old kids know what a dick is. Somebody who just isn't getting along and doesn't want to get along. So I call them out. And I get more and more people realizing that's really all it is. If we all just look at them and say, don't do that, maybe they stop. That's my firm goal, is to try and get the people that are like that not to be. But if they are, there's plenty of room on court 27 for them. They can go way over there. I don't need to have them with me. And once we've got courts everywhere, everybody can play, even the dicks.
What secret would you tell yourself now that you've been playing for a little while? When you first started, what would you tell yourself to give yourself maybe a little leg up into the community?
I would I would have liked to have been someplace where pickleball already existed, because I live somewhere where we pretty much have brought it here. It would have been nice to know all this stuff. It's been around for 60 years. A lot of this stuff has been known. It's just been kept secret by a lot of people. Uh, I wish we had more, I wish I had more support in the area. So maybe move to Minnesota or California.
There's a lot of pickleball here for
A lot
sure.
of pickleball.
Yeah, it's great. Matt, what about you?
Man, I would probably tell myself, don't take it too serious, because there have been times where I've been upset with myself or whatever, and gotten in my own head about it, and let it live there for a while, and that's not healthy or anything like that. So I think just not taking it serious, and being friendly, being fun. When I first started, I wanted to think that, like, I went to the local ambassador and I was like, I think I'm a 3-5. I should sign up for a 3-5 tournament. And they were like, no. And so I had this whole thing mapped out. Like, within a year and a half, I'm probably going to play pro, and here we are a year and a half later, I'm signed up to play, 3-0 at APP Sacramento next month. And it's cool. But a year and a half ago, had I stayed with that same mentality of, if I'm not pro in a year and a half, I'm done, we wouldn't be sitting here. So, just don't take it too seriously. That's what I'd tell myself.
I like it. And I'm glad you're still sitting here. We all are.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. Any final messages for the audience?
What you got, Happy?
I love everybody. I do.
Of course you do.
Even the ones that I don't get along with, I love everybody and I want them to play. So go grab a paddle and get out there and play. And if you don't know where to start, just look up Happy Pickleball. We'll find some place for you to start. No matter where you are in the country or the world, we now have people everywhere who are putting it in different places. So the cult is growing, and the cult has enough people to bring you in.
Yeah, it does. Anything from you, Matt?
Yeah, I'll just second what Happy said. Go out there and do it. Just try it. If you don't like it, what does it say in recovery? We say something like, try it 6 times. If you don't like it, we'll refund your misery. So
Love it.
Just go try it. See what happens.
Yeah, just like Shia LaBeouf says, just do it.
There you go.
Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. Matt and Happy, you guys are incredible.
Love
you
you
are
guys.
great representations for the sport, as Natasha said, and keep helping people, keep shining your light. We thank you very, very much.
Thank you,
Sarah.
With that, this show can also be heard on the Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out spanglishworld.ca for all news and programming. Spanglish World. Watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it.